Lately, there's a word we're hearing everywhere: tariffs. Ever since Donald Trump put them at the center of the economic debate, especially in his trade war with China, this term has become almost impossible to avoid. But what exactly are tariffs? How do they affect our daily lives? Are they good, bad, or a necessary evil? Today, we're going to break down this topic: what tariffs are, how they work, who benefits from them, and who gets hurt. So if you're ready, get comfortable, because here we go. Let's start with the basics. A tariff is a tax that a government puts on goods and services that are imported from other countries. This means that every time a foreign product enters your country, the government charges a fee. Export tariffs also exist, but they are much less common, so we're not going to focus on them. There are usually three main reasons. First, to protect domestic industries from foreign competition. This is the most common reason. Tariffs make imported products more expensive so that local products can compete in price. These types of policies are called protectionist. Second, to generate revenue for the government, which is very useful in countries with few internal taxes or with very high public spending. And third, to regulate international trade. This can range from punishing a country in retaliation for putting tariffs on your products to encouraging certain trade agreements. Tariffs can even be a way to level the playing field if a country produces cheaply thanks to lax regulations, for example, on environmental issues. Let's imagine a specific case. Let's say a store in the United States wants to sell solar panels made in China. Chinese panels are much cheaper to produce than American ones, so without tariffs, consumers prefer the Chinese products. This would negatively affect local businesses, which would not be able to compete. Now, what does the US government do? Easy. It imposes a tariff, for example, of 100% on the price of Chinese solar panels. This makes the imported panels more expensive, and now domestic products can compete. This way, local businesses survive and jobs are protected. Sounds good, right? Well, hold on. There's more to it than that. Who wins and who loses with tariffs? On the one hand, the big winners are the domestic companies that, protected from foreign competition, can maintain their sales and even grow. The government also wins, at least in the short term, because it collects money from tariffs. But not everything is positive. Tariffs also have their victims. Consumers, for example, end up paying more for products that they could get cheaper without tariffs. In addition, importing companies may see their sales fall because foreign products become more expensive. And then there is the risk of retaliation. If one country imposes tariffs, the other could respond by doing the same, affecting your exports. And that's a problem for industries that depend on selling abroad. The danger of resting on your laurels. There's another problem in the long term. If tariffs protect domestic companies too much, they might lose the incentive to innovate or become more efficient. In the end, this affects the consumer, who pays more for lower quality products. Also, when a market becomes inefficient, the overall economy suffers, and the standard of living of the population may end up falling. A journey through the economic graph. Let's illustrate this with a basic supply and demand graph. Imagine the US market for solar panels. On the horizontal axis, we have the quantity of panels sold, and on the vertical axis, the price. Under normal conditions, without importing Chinese panels, American producers would sell 10 million panels at $100 each. Here, both consumers and producers benefit. Now, let's bring Chinese panels into the equation, which are cheaper. If Chinese panels enter the market at $60, consumers will be delighted because they are paying less. But American producers will have a hard time because they will barely be able to compete. Total sales will rise to 15 million panels, but most of them will be Chinese. In fact, many local factories will close. Now, suppose the US government decides to put a 33% tariff, which raises the price of Chinese panels to $80. In this case, domestic companies are gaining ground again. They will sell more panels, the government will collect a good amount of money in tariffs, and consumers, although disadvantaged, will still have access to Chinese products, albeit more expensive ones. However, the market will be less efficient. That inefficiency is reflected in some triangles that, in economic terms, represent a loss of welfare for society. In short, tariffs are a double-edged sword. They can be useful to protect strategic domestic industries and raise revenue for the state, but they can also harm consumers, discourage innovation, and provoke trade tensions with other countries. So, the big question is, are they worth it? Are they a necessary evil or simply a political mistake? Leave us your opinion in the comments, and if you liked this analysis, don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and activate the bell so you don't miss our next videos. See you in the comments.